That's the true meaning of Christmas. If you have a Christmas confession, maybe related to a play or a church service or something that went wrong,
We haven't
presents.
had a church one for a while, have we?
No, I think the clergy have been unforgivably quiet. Come on, clergy. Or members of choirs, or, anyone who's been to Midnight Mass. Stuff happens, we would like to hear about it. It does.
Happens.
I think that's in the Bible. Confessions at greatesthitsradio.co.uk. Today's comes from Jed. Slightly unusual, actually. Father Simon and the Drive Time congregation. My name is Jed, and I like travelling a lot. So when I managed to travel west to America, I always put on an act for them. Jed comes over as a slightly unusual gentleman, by the way.
Okay.
I always put an act for them as I find that they are so intrigued by our culture, history, and the fact that our accent makes some of us sound more intelligent than we actually are, in my case anyway, says Jed. In my act, which only starts when they ask me, what do I do for a living, my reply is simply this: I work for the British government. That's all I can tell you. And I tell them I can't declare my role or why I'm in the area. It's very mysterious, and they seem to love it.
Yeah.
I can confirm to your listeners that I don't actually work for MI6, British intelligence, or anything like that. But there is a little tiny truth in government-related work in the past from being a coach driver.
Okay.
No, I mean, if you work for National Express, that's...
So they
the
do
coach,
government.
then you're just working for a coach company.
Yeah.
Driving a coach does...
No.
Anyway, we move on.
No.
I'm also, says Jed, pretty ripped, as I was a martial arts instructor.
Oh, Jed, I'm sorry.
This trip to America was for my daughter's 21st birthday, and we were staying in Los Angeles. On this day in question, we decided to hike up to the Hollywood sign to see how close we could get, and the hike took us right behind the sign, and we hung out a bit, taking pictures and looking out across the valley. I noticed 3 men approaching. One must have been very important, as the other 2 guys looked like FBI agents. I was interested in these people and their roles, so I got nearer without making it too obvious, and started speaking to my kids in a louder tone to project my British accent. And it worked. The main guy comes over and introduces himself to me as Eric. He came across all nice and polite, so I thought, well, here we go. I introduced myself as Jed and that I worked for the British government. He obviously wanted to know in what capacity, and I would only answer I'm under strict instructions and orders not to disclose any information. Eric, who should know better, was now talking to me as though I was a James Bond character and asked me if my combat skills were up to scratch. He said,
Here we go.
do you think you could take out my bodyguards?
My bodyguards.
Could you do that? Could you take them out? Sure, I replied. Assuming this fellow was just jesting.
I hope he talks more.
So acting confident, giving him this whole secret agent persona thing, I proceeded to take off my top. I did look confident. I was pretty fit then because, as I might have mentioned, I ran a martial arts club and I was also a former kickboxing champion.
Oh, good.
I had a winning attitude. He liked that. I began my square off, pretending to look serious. The truth was that I was now getting quite nervous, knowing these guys were armed, hoping he's about to shout, "Stop!" before I had to back down. And anyway, at this point, he said, "Whoa, sir, I'm only kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just having fun."
What?
And I said, "You sure, mate?" I gave him my grin of confidence. The guy is now talking to my daughter, so I engage in conversation with his bodyguards, thinking, who the heck is this Eric? Is he a member of the Mexican cartel or a movie star or something? Well, the answer is none of the above. I got told he is Eric Garcetti. Oh, I say, not knowing who that is, though clearly I should. Seems like a nice guy. Good to meet him, whoever he is. The bodyguards say nothing. "Well, sir, I got an appointment to attend," says the aforementioned Eric.
Yeah.
Says he has to leave. We all got in a picture together, and I told him, still in my secret agent role, that if he ever comes to the UK, I'd personally look after him. Gave him my phone number and email address. I can only imagine that your daughter, Jed, is dying of embarrassment throughout this whole thing. Anyway, so then I get back to the hotel and I look him up. Eric Garcetti. Right. I see. Eric Garcetti is the mayor of Los Angeles.
Oh, right.
A very big cheese in the Democrat Party and the youngest mayor in the US for 100 years. He is also nominated by Joe Biden, President of America, thanks, Jed, for pointing that out, to be the US ambassador to India. And I checked this out. That is exactly who he is.
Okay.
He's even talked about as a future president himself. OMG! Can you imagine if I'd had a fight with his bodyguards? Anyway, we had 2 days left in California before we were due to drive to Las Vegas when my mobile rang. I thought it must be the hotel in Vegas confirming my booking. No, I was wrong. It was Mayor Garcetti's personal secretary asking me if I'd like to have dinner with him. My stomach dropped. Now I'm trying to think of a way out of this predicament. What was running through my mind was I'd get arrested for impersonating an MI6 officer and get sent to Guantanamo. I remembered that he knew I was celebrating my daughter's 21st birthday, so that's my excuse. I told my Mayor Garcetti's secretary, sorry, but I have sadly declined due to family commitments, and she bought that. I thought that was the end of the matter, but no. I then get an email inviting me to go on a VIP trip to Universal Studios for the next day.
Wow.
Well, the hairs stand up on the back of my neck. This has gone too far. There is no way on this earth that I can keep this level of deception, this international deceit for several hours. It's inevitable I'm going to mess it up. So I need to use the good offices of your program, Father Simon, to ask forgiveness from the Mayor of Los Angeles.
Wow.
The future ambassador to India, friend of Joe Biden and possible future president, that fit guy at the Hollywood sign who offered to scrap with your bodyguards is a fraud, a fake, a con artist, and is in no way anything to do with MI5 or MI6. I'm very sorry, Mr. Future President. If you can find a way to forgive me, or at least the British public can, then I'll be a very happy chappy. That's what I'm saying. Let's check in with Sister Susie from the pub. Strange, huh?
Well, Jed, I've got a few issues with this. If you say it like that, then they're going to think that you work for MI6, aren't they? If you say, I work for the British government, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, can't tell you anymore, what do you think they're going to do? And also, if you're going to play along with that, fine, but don't give them your real number and your real email address so they can get in touch with you later. So I don't forgive you.
Brother from
Waste
another
of time.
gutter.
Well, yeah, what spy gives away their email address and the phone number? I mean, not very good ones. Also, what is it with these men who are ripped who can't wait to get the tops off? Dear, oh dear. I always keep mine on, despite obviously being massively ripped. I am going to... Why is everyone laughing quite so much? I am going to say forgiven, just because, frankly, it appears that just having any kind of British accent in America guarantees you get into, Universal Studios.
Yes.
So that'll do for me. Forgiven.